Okay, 3, 2, 1, it's jam.
Greatspears, big long pokeboys, thrusting implements of considerable girth. These bad boys are the long pokinest, roll catchinest, counter tradenest weapon this side of Farum Azula. They feature attacks that are on the slow side but aren't the slowest, downright demoralizing range for maximum pokey action, decent to high damage, and good poise breaking attributes. Seriously, even people rocking the full bowl set couldn't power through a running R1 unless they were also packing something similarly beefy. They do have a few drawbacks, which is probably why they aren't super popular outside of Vykes. A few being that they are decently heavy, usually have pretty high stat requirements, low versatility outside of the lance, and well, there just aren't that many of them. There are technically 6 Greatspears in the entire game, but the tree spear and Siluria's tree are similar enough to one another that you might be forgiven for thinking there are only 5 Greatspears. Hopefully when DLC comes out like a year from now, we'll see some more diverse longboys to puncture our enemies' hopes and dreams with. Also, given the slowish nature of the weapon, you usually do need to pair it with something a little bit faster for people with good twitch reactions. Sometimes to finish opponents, or sometimes for timing mix-ups, since Greatspears don't exactly have a versatile moveset timing-wise. A long sword or thrusting sword would probably be your best option, but given that I was rocking the strength and faith lifestyle for most of these duels, I opted for the old reliable pocket sand. So without further ado, let's get to it. Honestly, of all the Greatspears I used, my favorite has been the Serpent Hunter. I think people are honestly sleeping on it. Yes, I know the weapon art outside of Rickard's boss room is absolute hot dog water.
Well, we're waiting.
But in return you get slick monostat scaling,
High strength, baby.
low stat requirements,
Dexterity is a
high
sin.
non-split
Flat
damage,
defense can
insane counter pokes,
They had a
and an
fan
overall
base.
sexy, sleek weapon design. Not to mention that instead of the sweeping roll crouch attack, you get the insanely quick ultra greatsword poke. Great for timing mix-ups and generally overcoming the overall slow nature of the weapon. It's the only Greatspear that gets this attack. The other Greatspears, except for the Great Lance, are, well, mostly gimmicky. Vykes and Mohgs rely too heavily on their status build-up since the split damage renders them a little impotent, which requires you to use 2 of these hefty boys to get the most bang for your proverbial buck. The power stance moveset for Greatspears is a little limited. Occasionally you will get someone who just rolls backwards, allowing you to L1 pain train them into submission, but more experienced players tend to, just move to the left or right or forward. Really, the only wrong decision is backward, or they carry filthy boluses to cleanse the diseases they get from your unprotected girthy thrusting implements. Also, 2 Greatspears are heavy and really limit your ability to stack poise effectively. The Great Tree Spear, while being an absolute long boy, suffers from high base stat requirements, not to mention also suffers from split damage. It's a neat weapon art buff though. That only lasts 30 seconds, only grants 10% holy damage, and since you already need faith, you likely already have spells that do what it does, but better. Siluria's tree is essentially in the same boat as the Tree Spear, but with more lenient stat requirements. Split damage, bad weapon art, even though it is fun to snipe someone with it for the memes. The Lance is an exception though. It does less damage than the Serpent Hunter generally and looks to have shorter range, but can be infused for any build, and has a wide breadth of ashes to choose from. My personal favorite being Flaming Strike, since people tend to try and roll past you a lot when using pokey weapons. I don't think any of the Greatspears are truly bad, just there are some stars that shine a bit brighter. Though Mohgs and Vykes absolutely hold a place in our hearts because of their meme-worthy Ashes of War. I like my big pokey boys, and I hope you'll give them a try, but stack more poise than I did because these puppies thrive on sick, nasty trades and demoralizing roll catches. But don't wear that full bowl setup, you look like a nerd. Fashion counts. If you're not convinced, here's a few more duels with hot, penetrative action to get the juices flowing. Well, that's all I had for today. If you enjoyed the video, consider dropping me a like or even subscribing to the channel. It really helps a smaller channel like mine get discovered. I've got plenty more Elden Ring content in the works, so don't miss out. In any case, thanks for watching, and as always, stay safe out there.